Welcome to number. Wait, nope. And that's for. Oh Lord, I don't even know which name to use. Martel Rowland has screwed up the intro to the podcast.
So, welcome to Same Cast Every Day. This is number 71.
71, episode 71
71.
of 70. I was about to say, yeah, I should probably start drinking. Alfred said this is episode 71 of 71's podcast. That's what was about to come out.
Just wait. Now wait. After you hit 71, that means you got the big finale. The big one.
Next week, everyone. It's the season 3 finale.
The big one, the big kahuna, whatever you want to call it, the big whatever.
Last week, you guys got to hear and see, which will be on the video version eventually coming out. Oh my God, this is Brian from TikTok and
Clapper.
And Clapper
Yep.
was on last week, and this week is us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have a tangent.
All right, so what's your tangent?
And my tangent is, did I tell you guys my name? I'm Martel Rowland, by the way, and that's Crystal B. My tangent is Panhandlers. And what is my beef with Panhandlers?
Yeah, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Here's my beef with Panhandlers. I don't like them.
Okay.
I think they are the world's biggest actors and laziest people.
So before we get into a little bit, let's actually explain what a panhandler is. So
panhandlers, or I don't know how to explain them, just people who beg for money.
So people that actually, to tell you the truth, that this is true, that people actually will beg for money. And they are the people that, and to tell you the truth, there actually was I believe a world broadcaster, like some, whatever kind of broadcast it was. And it was amazing that this one guy made $40,000 a year, and he was
a panhandler.
Yep, he was a panhandler. And so, I ran into a gentleman once in the Chicago metro area that was looking for money. Well, he wasn't really looking for like a quarter. He was looking to do something else. Now, I understand. I'm not here to pick on. Okay, it could be anybody. Okay, I'm just saying
this. It could be any of us.
It could be anybody.
But
this is the gentleman I ran into. Okay, He was a black guy. Okay, he felt like he was kind of under the influence of something he probably shouldn't be at all. It's kind of all over the place. Again, whatever. I just said, I'm sorry, I don't have any money in me. I'm sorry, I'm a single, I'm a female. I don't have much. So,
right.
And just be honest. But yeah, I mean, panhandle. Let's talk about it. Martel, let's go.
So my whole thing with them is people who take advantage of it. I have saw this one on Facebook where the guy was out begging for money and drove away in a brand new BMW. Now I've seen that. Now, the issue with the ones I have by my house, mostly when I get off the highway, I can see if you're like new out there and you're like a new face and haven't seen you out there, I might give you some money. But it's the ones who's been out there, I can at least say been out there about 6, 7, 8 years, and you're still on the same corner panhandling. At some point, somebody should have helped you. You could have went to a rescue mission. There are so many resources out there for you to get off the street, and you out here begging for money because you don't want to go to work to basically buy drugs.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that's that one-way street farm. Is just because they want to get illegal substances. That's what happens.
Exactly. And that's my issue. Like every day when I get off the highway, for the last couple of years, it's been the same 4 people every freaking day when I get off the highway. And at some point, I wonder, they know, like, do they think like, oh, the gig is up? Like, you've been out here, like nobody's going to give you money. If I've literally seen you out here every day for the last couple of years, there's no way you should still be in a position that you in. There's a program here at a homeless shelter here where if you go and stay in for 30 or 60 days or something like that, you live in a shelter, they find you a place to live and pay your first year of rent. So there is no excuse why you are out here on the streets or out here panhandling, asking for money. At the end of the day, I feel like people who panhandle should, at the end of the day, there should be somebody going around finding these panhandlers and making them pay taxes on the money that they collect. I don't think it's fair that they get all this tax-free money. And on top of that, the amount of time that they spend out there panhandling, you could have been working a full-time job. Like you'd be out there for 8, 10, 12 hours. You could have had a whole paycheck by then if you go apply yourself. And people might say, oh, nobody might not hire them because of the way they look. Hey, if somebody were to go to the Goodwill, or there are resources out there that will make you look presentable to an employer.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that you can get a job.
There's churches, there's non-for-profits that are out there that are being like, you can call them up, even if you just have a basic, phone service, which even a lot of people that don't make a lot of money, just about everyone can have a phone now.
But if you receive food share, they give you a free cell phone with minutes on there. I mean, yes, they still give you minutes, but they give you a free phone, free government phone that you don't have to pay for.
So just think, I mean, these programs aren't put in place just for the fun of it. They're put in place to help you out, I mean, it's no different like people that take advantage of the system, as it would call it, like take advantage of now I'm not talking about like Medicare or Medicaid. I'm talking about people that actually live off of the system because like panhandlers, because that's all they do. This is their, like, you know what? I don't need to work. I want to do illegal stuff. And you know what? People can pay for that. And I don't got to pay taxes, and I can stay home. And it's not good for you at all. It really isn't. First of all, any illegal substance, again, never good for the body. They were never made for the body.
Exactly.
So you should never do that. Panhandling to me, okay, in some countries, okay, they would jail you, and to be honest with you, some of the stuff in some countries, you would not be alive, they would, so to be honest with you, I don't think it's right. I mean, there's resources in this country that is available to everybody. Like the only people that maybe it might not be is to illegal immigrants. Again, that's a different story, and we can't. We don't have that rules to fight them, but I mean, come on now, really, just keep on asking people for money. It's different. To me, I think it's different when it's a fundraiser. When people are asking, hey, like myself, that I'm having my surgery and I'll be off for 3 months. Now, I don't make a lot of money, so I'm not able to afford short-term disability. I've looked into it. Yes. The price of what they want for it, I mean, it would cost me more than what it would be to do the fundraiser, would take the taxes out of it. So I gotta be honest with you, it's like I'm not begging people to go to my fundraiser page and donate. I'm asking them, could you please take a moment out of your time and maybe just a little bit of, like Brian talked in the last episode, take a little bit of time, we need to get these panelists to meet. We need to get them off the streets. That's it. They need to get a job, and you're right. And if they've made 40, 50, 60, 100,000 a year tax-free money, well, the rest of us are paying.
Yeah, like there need to be some ways for them, like they should have to report what they made and have to pay taxes on it. It's not really how I feel. And then it's crazy because when me and Marcus, my brother, was leaving I think we were coming from the NBA Finals game down in downtown. The Bucks won the NBA Finals. And we stopped at a gas station. And there was literally 3 or 4 panhandlers fighting over a freaking corner. And he was telling the guy, oh, you go somewhere else with that. Go somewhere else. Like, they were fighting over the area to panhandle. Like, are you serious? Now, I don't know what happened to this guy, but there just be this one guy. He was a white guy. He actually was kind of nice looking, and he had dirty clothes on and stuff, but he was, he still looked like presentable, like hireable. And I would give him money all the time, because what made me give him money, and every time I saw him, what made me give him money was the simple fact he was out there begging for money for he can better go buy him food. And I saw him finally make enough money to get some food. And another panhandler came up to him and asked him for some money for some food or something, and he gave the guy the money that he just got for food, and the guy went over to the gas station and bought food and didn't even give the guy who stood out there for hours no money. That guy I gave money to. Now, at this point, I don't see him no more. So I feel like he's got his blessing. Well, I want to believe that he's got his blessing and no longer is living on the streets and was able to find a home.
I hope he did. I pray and hope he did.
Like he couldn't have did it. Like he was out there scratching for scrambling, trying to get what money he can to get some food, and he took that same money and helped out another person to get some food. Like, why wouldn't you want to give that person some food, like or some money? Like that guy, like giving him your money and you know that he's helping other people is your blessing also.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your own blessing in disguise. So that every time I saw him, I would give him whatever I had in my car. I just give it to him. Now, people like that, like I said, people like that, I give them some money. Like there was a situation where my brother Marcus, we were leaving from somewhere. I think we're somewhere in South Milwaukee. And I asked my brother, said, why did you give that guy some money? He's like, he was sitting there homeless. He had a sign. So I just gave him, I gave him like $1 or $2 or something like that. I was like, did you look at his feet? He was like, no, what do you mean? I was like, he had on brand new Nikes. I wouldn't have gave him no money. Like I looked down, he had on brand new Nike shoes. If you're out here homeless, you wouldn't have on brand new Air Force Ones.
Oh no. No. I mean, there's things that panhandlers that most people don't pay attention to. I mean, I've seen them like at stores. They're literally in that kind of like where you enter and exit. And they put the sign up that they're homeless or above this and that. And you know what? First of all, okay, I understand. I seen a video my dad sent me a while back where a girl was homeless. Okay, she had a son, young son. I don't know how old he was, and she was homeless. And all of a sudden, this sign came up on there. It said "Help Wanted," and she was homeless. This older guy did the same scenario like with you, where he gave her this money to get some food. Well, they went into this restaurant, ordered some food. Next thing you know, within 24 hours later, they had a sign up there that they need help wanted. Well, she applied for it and got the job.
Yeah.
She got the job. She got this girl, again, 20s, I'm saying maybe 20s, maybe 30s. She got a job. And then they showed that the restaurant owner actually rented her apartment that was upstairs or like somewhere just give her place for her and her son. And to me, I mean, that was a person that went through a hard time.
Yes.
You know what? I have no problem with seeing somebody out there that is just, I don't care where we go, where it is in the world it is. See someone just in ragged clothes and everything else. You know what? I understand where we're all struggling. But you know what? Even if you give them $1, you know that? Even if
the smallest amount does a lot for them.
Those people, those I don't call panhandlers. Those are people that are homeless and just need some help. And maybe they're
down on their luck.
And maybe just doing that. And the best thing to me, this is this is what I always say, is I always try to pray for those people. Now it sounds crazy for a girl to say that, but you know what? I'll be like, God, could you? I donated $1 to this person. Could you give them a blessing? Could you also give them a blessing, please? Get them off their feet. Get them in a shelter, a home, place where they can go in this thing, And I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have it either way. To be honest, Martel, I'd be willing to go out of everybody's way, to do it. Really.
Yeah, I agree with you too. That'll go a really long way. And as I said, for people like that, I will always support them. Like I'm not a person who normally carries cash, but when I do, and I've seen a person who is really in a desperate need for help, I will help them. Like I have no problem with helping people. Only issue I have with certain panhandlers, is the ones who take advantage. And like I said, like it's just the fact that I've seen you out here for so many years and you're still out here in the same spot every day begging.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they're used to that routine and they're like, I'm just gonna keep doing this for the rest of my life. Well, you know what, to be honest with you, it's not, first of all, it's not good. It's not healthy, you
But
know?
all the energy to me, I feel like all the energy that they channel into panhandling and going out here begging, you could have used that for a job.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
then, like I said, it's just some people who choose not to go to work and have a job. And those and when I see people give them money, like it pisses me off so much because you're not doing anything but supplying their drug addiction or whatever it is that their alcoholism. That's all you are supplying.
And you know what, to me, when I was maybe in 2010, '09, maybe, I actually walked down by and I saw like a gentleman was in Kenosha, and you could tell he was homeless, but he walked down by and I never got a chance to stop him and even be like, sir, do you need some food or something like that? Because I'd have been like, here's like $5. Go get yourself some food, go get yourself something to eat, really, by all means.
And if you don't trust that they're gonna spend the money on the food or whatever, you can always ask them like, hey, is there something I can get you? Like
Mm-hmm.
you ask them, hey, can I buy you a burger? Like I don't have any cash on me, but can I go buy you a burger and bring it back to you? Like you can always give them food, go and get them food and bring it back. I will actually take the time to go get them the burger. Like, hey, do you want a cheeseburger from Burger King? I'll go
Yeah.
get you a cheeseburger. No problem. It's only $1 for a cheeseburger. What is $1 to me at this point?
Yeah, who cares? I mean, by all means, there's actually this gentleman. He's, I don't know I remember his name was. He's on TikTok. It was a actual video I have saved, and this guy said, he saw this person, kind of homeless, kind of in this little kind of area,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, hey, the truck driver said he was a black guy, and he yelled to this older white guy, hey, what's your name? And his name was so and so, and he said, I said, hey, what do you need? He said, well, I'd like some food. Well, he goes to a fast food restaurant. I don't know what it was, maybe Hardee's, Carl's Jr. I don't know. I'm just gonna take one of the two, and he orders the largest portion of food he can get for him, largest like meal. He asked him if he liked soda or whatever else. He got the largest, soda, everything, and all that. You guys got, I don't know, it was a huge sandwich. He got that, fries and a soda. And I thought, and this guy said he took off, said, you know what? That's my friend. That's my new friend. And I'm gonna come see him once in a while and make sure he's okay. And you know what? That just like I told you that other little story about that woman and her son, that touched my heart so much. I'm like, there are good people out there. When they see those people, they are struggling. They do need some help. And to make that TikTok video say that's my friend, to me, it's almost like you're taking the next step to be like, you know what? I have no idea who this person is, but they're my friend.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Darman.
Oh
Um
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy watching his videos. I would love to be a part of one of his videos one day. But it was this one video in particular where he had these two characters, and this one guy came across this homeless man who was just out in the behind his building begging or whatever. And he actually had stood there and had a conversation with this homeless man. This homeless man told him that he used to be a painter, and he's have a paint studio, and something that happened and he lost everything. And this guy in this story, the guy went and bought this guy all his painting supplies. But when he went to go take the painting supplies for him, the guy ended up getting sick, ended up in the hospital.
Oh no.
And so he was calling around hospitals looking for this guy. He was tracking him down. He was able to track him down. The guy was like, he was upset. They were talking about amputating his leg. And he said, he told the guy to believe that you're going to be all right or something like that. I can't remember. I'm a little bit intoxicated. Can't remember. But he was telling him to like believe that you're healed or something like that. And the guy ended up being healed. And then so he ended up presenting the guy with all his painting supplies, and he told him just to paint. And this guy painted, so they went back and where he was staying at, and behind his building or whatever, they went back and got him, And then when they picked him up, they took him to a house and they gave him like some they bought him a suit and some fresh clothes and all this other kind of stuff. And they actually helped him sell his artwork online. And this guy went from homeless to having his own art show and made tens of
Oh,
thousands of
I remember.
dollars.
Yes. Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's yeah. I mean,
Yeah, right. So like I said, like if you take the time to listen to some of these people's story, I wouldn't mind helping them. But then it's the ones that you see, you just look at them like no, you're only out here for one thing.
you see the same routine from the same people.
For so long.
And those people because you can see, hey, they're out there. Hey, look at their shoes. Hey, look at this. Look at that. There's things they're going to give it away. Little things.
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that can always be like, oh, red flag, red flag. And people do understand that this podcast, we want to make sure we're educating you so you are ahead of this. Because when you are in these large metro cities, it could be in New York, could be Detroit, could be in Atlanta, could be out in California somewhere, wherever. Just name a few of them, could be in Arizona. But keep an eye on these people because they could be out there and they could have a car parked in the bushes, brand new Mercedes or Lexus or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And they could have a huge.
And then one of the takeaways I want people to take away from this: a small amount of your time can make a big difference in somebody else's world.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want y'all to. I'm gonna repeat that for you again. A small amount of your time can make a big difference in somebody else's world. You can change somebody's life just with taking a small amount of your time and investing in them. Now, who's not to say now? I don't know if that was based on a true story or not, but who's not to say that these people were just working from day to day, struggling like anybody else has been doing, and now they came across this man and they helped them, and in return, this man helped them back as their blessing for helping him get back to where he is.
Martel, you're freezing, buddy. You're
Yeah.
freezing.
Okay, so apparently I don't know where Paul's at because we're both having technology issues this episode. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna repeat it again. I don't know where it stopped at. Sorry guys.
You're still kind of like accordion. You sound all funny.
How about now?
All right, so we're gonna take a pause second here. We're gonna actually stop our videos real quick, everyone. So just give us a second here. Gonna have some technical issues with our computers. On top of my voice get a little dried out, but all right. So I'm back. Okay, I'm good. All right, you back? You're good.
Am I back?
Back, kind of freezing up a bit.
What is going on with our technology, people? Okay, we're gonna have to pause again. Okay, everybody. So you probably heard the technical issues that went on. But what I was saying was before I got cut off, thank you, Zoom. A small amount of your time can make a big difference in somebody else's world. A small amount of your time can make a big difference in somebody else's world.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep that in mind. And it's not to say that I don't know if that was, like I said before, I don't know if they probably even got recorded, if it was a true story or not. But just imagine if this was a person who was probably working day to day and just probably getting by paycheck to paycheck or whatever the situation may be. They might have been living comfortable, but wasn't really comfortable enough. So this could have been, like I said, it could be one of those type of situations where now they have helped this man make tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then he do something in return for them or give them a blessing in return, or they might get that blessing of a promotion that they've been waiting for, or that blessing to in getting their business started that they've been waiting for. Like you just don't want bad juju. Like I got a call from the electric company, I think yesterday or today, and they asked me like, "Hey, we're just calling to see. You were saying something." I had talked to them like, "Hey, did your food get spoiled?" Da 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 da. I could lie to say yeah, to just be able to get some free money and be like, I was like, I don't want that bad juju coming out on me. because it's been some good things going on in my life by me being honest and
Mhm.
working hard and doing the work that needs to be done to work hard to work at something to get to where I want to get. Like the podcast is actually starting to become a thing now. Like we're actually seeing a good amount of downloads a day now. So it's a work in progress. And like I said, I don't want that bad juju to come out on me just because I want some extra money. And like I said, like money is good. It's always good,
Well, money's good. Mhm.
but like I said, I'm working hard for for what I want, and I don't want me lying to get some extra money to mess up my good karma that I'm putting out there in the world. And at the end of the day, like in one of the Darman videos, I was talking about the good that you put out in the world comes back to you,
Mhm.
and I want that to come. I want the good that I put out there to come back to me.
We want positive reinforcement, and we encourage that for everybody. That we make sure that if everything fails in life, if you use that good juju and whatever that was in your life, and even if you're going through some rough times,
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few rough moments at my job, I will say. And you know what? This guy up here, the host here, now I'm just the host. He just texts me and be like, you know, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you, and usually on Thursdays we normally, interact with each other, during the day to make sure we're all kind of, ready to go, hyped up,
Mm-hmm.
even though we're both kind of tired from work and it's been a day. It's been been a hot minute of something else. But
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, I went through a rough patch in my life too. I did. I really did. I came out to some people and told them what's going on in my life. And, I got to say, I mean, Martel has stepped up his game. Darrell is, I don't know, on the sidelines, I guess. I don't know where he's at.
He's starting to get better.
Well, this is good. But
He's making a progress to do better. I can say that.
That's good. Sometimes you really gotta lay a law down on people. I mean, I didn't expect a person that, I talked on singles websites. I didn't expect this guy to all of a sudden come back with like, I really like you. And I'm like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Again, things like that. I wasn't judging him. I just kind of put the law down and just try to make sure that like you're not dealing with, everyone's different, but
Right.
put your foot down. But we're not talking really getting into much dating, but by all means, if you see someone having a rough day, I understand COVID's going on again, it's run with the Delta variant, but you know what? I tell you what, if you both put a mask on, okay, make sure you got hand sanitizer nearby. But if you got to give someone a hug, okay, both wear your masks, give them a hug. Give that person, if they need a hug, I understand 2020 we couldn't do that, and you probably shouldn't do it now. But you know what? Put your mask on and just give them a hug, because I can tell you what, just someone holding someone sometimes can just let all that negativity leave your body,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be so much better, and that positive juju, and don't go on, Martel. You could have taken that money and you could have been like, you know what, here, I got this money, I really don't need it, I want to donate to whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
you had good juju going, regardlessly, but and then with the podcast, if we can start making some, some moolah on this and that, awesome, maybe we could find, like we talked about, some local venues around the Milwaukee, Madison, around the state, where we could start donating some of this money. Hey, by the way, we made X amount of dollars this year. We want to donate out to,
Mm-hmm.
we want to donate to put up a playground
Boys
for
and
kids.
Girls Club of whatever.
Yeah, we want to donate to put money for a playground. We want to donate whatever, that X amount of dollars. Now, we're doing it because we want those kids to have, something to go to,
Mm-hmm.
have fun. So when you see someone down their luck, help them out. Even if it's $1, even if it's buying them food, even if it's going out of your way, which may be a hassle in your life, which is not true. Take that moment to think about how that person is at. They could be mentally Just
now
really stressed out.
I'm not saying help the ones who I say you constantly see out there every day in the same spot who are just taking advantage of that. I'm not talking about them people.
No.
I'm talking about the ones you can really tell and look at them like, okay, you know what, this person really needs my help. And then speaking of like bad weeks, I had such a bad week a day earlier this week. I think I had text Crystal and be like, hey, I just got the papers to put in my 2-week notice, and I did not have a backup plan whatsoever. And there are some people who be like, hey, you know what? You're smart, you're a bright guy, and you will figure it out. And you're not meant to be in a situation that you're in now. And it will get better. And right now, I just feel like, okay, I might have just gave up a really big test that was meant to happen, that was meant for me to learn a lesson. I might have just almost gave up the battle. And one of my coworkers actually talked me out of turning in that 2-week notice that I actually filled out. I filled it out and everything, signed it, everything. I was like, I was done. And she convinced me to stay. And and then later on this week, I get a call for an interview for a job.
See, good juju. See, you know what? I don't mean to stop Martel, but yes, I did have a conversation with Martel, and we had some pretty in-depth conversation. We won't talk about it on the podcast. We don't talk about personal lives, but I will say my concern for him in general, okay, was concerning. Okay, now I'm not going to say that we've all taken some bad roads, bumpy, under construction, or just not even blacktopped or concreted correctly, or just got too many weaves in it. But by all means, I was concerned for him because I'm like, not that he's my boss, okay? Not that he's a good friend, okay? Not that he's a human being on the earth. He's a good friend to me, and I care about him. It's true, facts. I can say that. I can say it all the time I want. I can brag about you. I could say I got a bodyguard. I could say whatever I want to say. But you know what? At the end of the day, that means those people care for you. They will do whatever it takes. When they didn't have power, I know it was, I couldn't, help everybody out, but I was going to help them try to find some ice, dry something, I don't care if I would have met them halfway. If I would have, to me, I was going to go out of my way, even though I might not have the funds, just to help him come up halfway or wherever, even come up here, and we would get him what he needs. I was going to do that because you know what? It's not just what coworkers do or hosts and co-hosts do. This is what real people do. This is this is where friends show up. This is where the people they know are going to show up. They're going to be there for you.
It's crazy because speaking of that power outage, like, oh my God, like I don't think I have ever been so frustrated and like felt depressed, and it was a lot of things going through my head at that time just because the power was out. Like, I get it that there are some people that's living out there in third world countries with a lot more issues. But it was just the fact that like I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to throw away probably $1,000 worth of food that was stored in my house. And it was just like how much of an inconvenience that it was. And like I said, like a lot of people didn't see behind closed doors. I think I might have been out somewhere. My mom was just trying to find I think this might have been right after before we found the generator or whatever. And I was just like, I was fed up. Like it was 2 days, like we went 2 days with no power. We were sleeping in the house at night with no electricity. It was hot, like in high 80s, low 90s, hot inside the house. It was miserable. And then we couldn't cook any food. We was trying to figure out how to save our food. It was just a lot that was just going on. And I was just like, I think I was in the car with my mom, like, I'm so over it. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I really didn't know how to channel my anger at the moment. I didn't know what to do. And I think that's what led to me calling my, if you listen to the last episode, that's what led to me calling my alderman, making the comments that I made. I even called the governor. And I'm like this is so frustrating because it's been 2 days and not one person has come to any of these neighborhoods and have checked on us. Like, hey, is there anything you need? Are you okay? Is there something we can do for you? There was nothing. There was no type of response whatsoever. Like if it wasn't for Facebook or at least me somehow being able to find some type of way to charge my phone, we would not even know what was going on in the outside world. Because like I said, we didn't have no clue what was really going on. We only and the thing about we only can see what was posted on Facebook. So it's not like we can watch the actual news and see what was going on. And then when it came to We Energies, it was just like, oh, we're working on it, we're working on it, we're working on it. And I'm like, okay, well, how long are you going to be working on it? Like you guys keep saying it was over 220,000 people with no electricity. And you mean to tell me with 220,000 people out of electricity, you only have 500 workers for 220,000 people
Yeah, that's
without
a small amount. I mean,
electricity?
To be honest, I mean, I understand that they did contract out other, like
Yeah, they
power
did
companies
contract people, contract
from
other
other
power companies from
states.
out of
I mean,
state.
there was some state, and I know someone commented that said, well, I think we were on TikTok live and it said, well, in Florida we had our power back on after a hurricane within 4 hours. I said, wait, stop, hold up, before you go and brag about your state, you understand that everything in Florida is all underground power. You understand we're in the northern sector of the United States, and there's still areas in this northern sector that still haven't gone underground power. Now, if there would have been underground power, okay, there's that possibility it could have uprooted some, underground power lines, this and that. That would stop it. It wouldn't do as much damage, but the problem is that you have such old technology from the 1930s and 40s that's up in the air, okay, that needs to go underground where it's a lot more safer. Because, to be honest with you, if you had been out of power for 8 hours, it'd been like, whatever, yes, it's no fun to be in the heat. No, I was trying to offer what I could, I was trying to help you not be frustrated. You were not in a good mood, by all means.
I
but
was not.
you know what though? You know what? I wasn't worried about, I was not worried about, okay, how do I handle this? I was trying to keep you calm. Crystal was trying to do her best. I was doing my damnedest to keep him in check and be like, dude, we can do this. And I said, whatever resource you need, I'm up here.
It was just the whole situation was just so frustrating. Like I had to get dressed in the dark for work. Like my phone had died, so I couldn't use my flashlight on my phone. And like this past storm really made me realize how unprepared I was for that kind of situation. Because I think we might have, I don't even know if we had a flashlight. If we had a flashlight in the house, I think we only had like one flashlight in the whole entire house. We had no candles. We were not prepared whatsoever for a power outage. And like nervous time when power go out, like ours go off for a couple of hours, it might go off for a couple of minutes and flick back on. This is the first time where it was out for that long. And we were just totally unprepared for it. And it made me realize how unprepared I was for that kind of situation.
You know what? And this comes, right back to with being being homeless, not a panhandler, but being homeless, where all of a sudden you could have everything and all of a sudden it's wiped clean.
Literally. Yeah.
It's completely wiped clean. This is not the same scenario. Granted, you guys have a house and a car and this and that, but just like the Dharma, where you could have everything and all of a sudden some bad happens and you're just like wiped off, And so you never could be prepared for what's next. You can only go through it, learn from it, educate yourself, and know what you need to do next time.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I was lucky I remember, because good thing I like doing road trips. So I actually had this thing that I can plug it to my cigarette lighter in my car. And what it does is allows me to plug actual outlets into it. So I was actually able. So when I thought about like I can power fans in my house, like, cause it didn't have enough electricity. It didn't produce enough electricity to like power my refrigerator and deep freezer, but it had enough electricity for me to be able to power fans and to actually turn on the TV and see what was going on in the outside world. So what I did was I locked up my garage. and I had literally a extension cord running from inside of my car to the inside of the house. And I left my car running in the garage. And I was literally using my car to power fans and stuff in my house to keep cool.
Hmm? You know what? You can do it. You know, the 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning was made for when there's power outages. You just plug it in. It's got wall plugins. Plug it right in, right? I don't know how long the battery is going to last. I mean, a lot of the new technology's out there, but to me, if they can get it down pat, I mean, I'm maybe I might buy a truck or not, but I will tell you hands down, if the power went out and I could plug at least a few lights and at least your refrigerator and freezer in it, you know, and maybe a microwave and a fan, by all means. You know, if I gotta live in the heat, well, that's the way life goes. I'll just have to, you know, I don't want to deal with it, but if I have to.
It's crazy because it made me realize, like, before electricity was invented, like, I was like, I think the part that was mostly frustrating to me is that I had to mostly rely on using cell phone towers for internet, and it was horrible because everybody in the area was using cell phone towers. So the internet connection wasn't the best, and it was draining so much battery on my phone using that while everybody was on there. But it just made me realize, like, what did people do before electricity to keep themselves entertained? Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, the situation probably would have been totally different if I just knew how to entertain myself.
You know, and people probably used to read like books. You know, I mean, books have been around forever. You know, I mean, by all means, you probably would have find something that you like. You know, but find some candles.
I
Because
mean,
just
only
think
thing I had
candles.
was
Candles
Mariah
were a big
Carey's.
thing.
Only thing I had was Mariah Carey's memoir and Michelle Williams' checking in book, which I haven't started reading yet. I need to start reading.
But by all means, you know, by all means, I mean that's what sometimes you have to do without power, this and that. You know, I mean, who knows? You know what we could deal with. But you know, on the same note, I've kind of looked into some ways where maybe there's a possibility where, you know, I'm looking at like a car battery or car batteries and like a power inverter. Like how many like volts or watts? Again, this is some electrical stuff that maybe a few people out there, maybe a few people may understand, maybe people do a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But you could plug it in, okay, all right, plug this inverter into that, right, and then at least say power your fridge and freezer, you know, or some basic stuff. And, you know, to me, I'm not saying the generator is a great thing to have. It's a phenomenal thing to have. It's a great little machine, small engine, plug stuff in, run it for 8 to 12 to 24 hours, depending on how, you know, fuel or if it's LP or whatever, you know.
My God.
You know, really,
the one that I have found, if it's on a full tank of gas, it runs for 14 hours.
Wow.
Only thing is, we had it in the backyard, and it was changed. Somebody was like, "Why didn't you have it? Why didn't you have it inside your house? Like, you idiot, carbon monoxide, stupid." But anyway, so yeah, we had it in the backyard. But the thing is, it was like right outside. It was like outside my bedroom window, and
the noise.
and I keep my bedroom window closed anyway. So I'm like, I was like, oh my God, this thing is loud. Like, even with the bedroom window closed, it was still loud. But it produced, I think, 3,500 to 3,600 watts of electricity, which is what we needed. So when we were finally able to get the generators, I had to drive to the next county over, which was Waukesha, and I had to go to Blaine's Farming Fleet to get it. And so we was able to power. What did we power? I was able to power our deep freezer, our refrigerator. We had got fans going. We had the TVs going. We could finally see what's going on in the outside world. We was finally able to charge our phones in the house, and we was able to run some other stuff too. So we were quite lucky we were able to get that generator. But I just found it coincident, after 2 days of not having electricity, we went that morning to get a generator on the second day. So by like 9:30, 10 o'clock, we had the generator running, power and everything. And then come probably about 5:45, 5:55 that night, electricity came back on. Like, son of a bitch. But no, we did not take the generator back because now we are prepared for the next power outage. But now I paid attention, and now I know we can use it more just for a power outage. So if we ever like family having to get together at like a park or something, we can bring a generator with us to have produce electricity to plug up stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's the radio, bouncy house, whatever we need to power stuff, bring the generator, we can power it.
Yeah. Yep. You just use it. Just do, like I said, with any air devices. Just use it once a year. By all means. Really.
Yeah, I was thinking I probably should have took the fuel out of it before I put it away in storage.
Well, actually, you know what you can do is just leave it in because it's still summertime, and wait till about like October, and then just do like you would do like kind of with a similar small engine. Just start up and let it run out. Just let it run.
That'd take hours because we filled it all the way up, and then that thing barely moved by the time the power came back on.
Huh? But I mean, other things
it'd take hours to burn out.
Otherwise, you can take a little siphon and pump it back into the little gas can if you want to do that too.
I think that might be what I have to do. But yeah, that whole power outage thing and that really taught me a lesson about being prepared.
Yeah.
Because I can honestly admit, you guys, I was totally not prepared for anything like that. I didn't know how to deal with anything like that. Like I said, last time I experienced a power outage is out for maybe an hour or two. Maybe I had to go to bed at night and the power was off. Next day it was back on. Only thing I was really pissed about, if you listen to the last episode, that when the power came back on, my Wi-Fi and internet still wasn't working. I was so pissed off. Like, oh yeah, like power came back on just in time. I could get my podcast recorded. Like, oh no internet.
No, not today. No.
And it's crazy because that one thing that really like kind of frustrated me also. Like now that I think about it, like I can't use nothing in my house. Like when the power stuff came back on, a lot of my stuff in my house I couldn't use because it all runs off the Wi-Fi. So I couldn't use I couldn't stream like all my TV that I watch. I stream, which requires Wi-Fi. My Ring doorbell system requires Wi-Fi. Like I couldn't play Xbox because my Xbox required me to have access to the internet, so I couldn't do anything but watch literally regular TV.
I mean, granted, you could watch regular TV or just play your games without going online access, and that's probably all you're.
No, because like the game, like I have Game Pass, so in order for me to access the video games that I play, it has to be connected to the internet in order for me to play the games.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yes, I was just like, I was over it at this point. Like, yay, I was able to save my food, but nothing still works. I can't do nothing without internet.
Nothing really works. Nope, it don't.
So, like my desktop, yes, desktop computers run off of internet these day and ages. Like my thing that's my internet router thing, modem, is in my bedroom. I'm in my dining room right now. And yeah, it runs off of Wi-Fi. Even my microwave runs off of Wi-Fi.
Really?
Yeah, like I could say, Alexa, microwave for such and such time, and then it'll start the microwave up.
Oh.
Like I can go and still manually start the microwave without the Wi-Fi, but like even like my microwave run off, it has Wi-Fi features.
Oh.
So that's like a lot of my stuff in my house depend on me having Wi-Fi, and I didn't have it.
That's things, but you know what? We've talked about panhandlers. We talked about what it's like to be electric, not having power, which in 18 something or other.
1817, whatever George Washington was president, damn it.
And then we had Ben Franklin who came up with the light bulb. So Uncle Ben. So not Uncle Ben from Uncle Ben's Rice. That's not the same person.
I'm not that drunk. I know.
I'm gonna tell people because people may screw that up. So,
oh God, that's drunk.
But hey, this has been a Same Cast Different Day podcast. You can check out Martel Rowland. First of all, before we check him out though, don't forget, take a look at our website at direct.me/Same Cast Different Day podcast. Keep on following us on all the social medias on there. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. Check us out.
Instagram is Same Cast DFNT podcast on Instagram. And don't forget to check out Crystal B's GoFundMe for her to help her pay for her expenses while she's off from work. I'm sorry, but Buck Sun Productions does not have short-term disability, so I cannot pay her for being off of work. So make sure you guys help her out. You can follow me on the Twitter, the Facebook, and the Instagram and the TikTok at Martel Rowland.
You can also check out the co-host, Crystal B. You can check me out at Facebook, Crystal B. You can check me out on the TikTok at Miss Care Bear WI. And if you wish to check me out on the Snapchat land,
people.
He's always dying to say that. You can check me out at DJ Care Bear 131. And yes, I will be working on that Instagram page, but we will be between Martel and I will be working on we'll do back and forth on Instagram. So keep us out.
What about Instagram?
I'm going to work on getting an Instagram for myself. So I'm
working on Instagram for you. I'm like, the podcast already has the Instagram page.
Yeah,
I think I gave Crystal the password, y'all, and I told her to go post stuff about the podcast on there, but I don't think she posts anything.
So I will work on that. I will get on that. So I am actually responsible for the website, so we'll keep it up to date. That's my process. I actually built it, and now we are working on getting this together. Also, check us out. You can check us both out at direct.me/Martel Rowland. He's the host here of our awesome Same Cast Different Day podcast. The man, the legend, not a myth. He's legit. You can also check me out direct.me/Crystal B. By all means, check out the fundraiser, please. Help us out. Yep, short-term disability not counted at Buck Sun Productions. Fact checks, people. But by all means, if you do have a few minutes to take a look and just read into it, and if you're not really sure as to what I'm getting into, by all means, please search that on whatever your search option is out there. And I would appreciate everyone that does help me out. I understand we're only at the $120 mark, and I know I have a pretty high reach I'm trying to get, but that's to cover my expenses, food, and actually, two of my good friends, my one friend Allison, and then Mr. The show here, right up here, it's above me right here, the show man right here. So Mr. Martel Rowland is actually going to come and bring me back.
Oh yeah!
So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun out there. We're gonna do, might possibly depend on my pay level. We might do a little snip broadcast. Maybe we'll do a 15-minute little snip one.
Crystal won't let me make bad decisions while I'm here, so don't expect any bad decision making on TikTok from me while I'm there.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna be whatever having beverages in the room, that's up to his expense. But so. Well, this has been our Same Cast Different Day podcast. Thank you again for joining us. And Mr. Martel Rowland.
This has been an official Buck Sun production.